going on?
We live, bro.
All right, then. Wow. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, batten down the hatches. We'd like to introduce you to the greatest late night combat sports show, bar none. You are now in the Beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and Roo.
Welcome. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and now you're inside the Beatdown with my boy, the Badger, and your boy here, Brew. Hey, we're going to take you on a good ride. We got a good show scheduled for you. You know what? Before we get off, bro, I just want to find out how you doing.
Man, I'm coolin', bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You got that Teddy Pendergrass microphone working for you this time.
Yeah, you know, there's some change we're trying to make to the show to bring a better experience to all our listeners and viewers, man. That's all it is.
And it's working, bro. And it's working. I just like the people to get to know you sometimes. And I know you're very elusive, very secretive. But people can get to know you just by what you watch. What's on your TV?
Oh, back there? Dr. Stephen Strange, man. Dr. Stephen Strange.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, you gotta keep it Marvel around here, man. I mean, the cat's out of the bag, I guess.
Even though I'm from just north of DC, I do keep it Marvel as well.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there's some DC in the mix.
I mean, it's a little bit, a couple, 2 Batmans. That's about it.
Hey, bro, jumping into some fighting news. Did you see the video on Instagram by Daniel Cormier?
Man, listen, I had to reset my phone, and I was getting ready to prep for tonight's show, so I never got a chance to listen to it. Fill me in. What happened?
Bro, people had talked about Francis Ngannou going down to 205 to fight John Jones. And they were talking about, is John Jones scared of Francis Ngannou? And John Jones pretty much answered him directly. And Daniel Cormier is like, why would this question even come up? First of all, who has John Jones ever been scared to face? Who has he ever ducked in his career? He's fought everybody who's come down the pike. Look, he had a hard time against Gustafsson, fought him twice. They all predicted he was going to lose to Gustafsson the second time. So Cormier was kind of pointing that out. And I started thinking, we had on the show last night Francis Ngannou against any boxing heavyweight. I don't think he's going to get past that 205 fight if it's made.
Well, so you're saying that you think Francis Ngannou would come down to 205?
Yeah, I think it would be almost impossible, but I think they might try to find a catch weight there.
No. It's too. First of all, there's no way Francis Ngannou can get down 205. That's not gonna happen. But I will say this: John Jones is the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC, and people just at this point want to see him get beat. They won't care if they put him there with a boxer, the biggest MMA guy you could find around. They just want to see him beat, and that's kind of what I don't know if that's a human trait as much as it is an American thing. We like to see a rise, a fall, and a rise again. You know, we like to kind of see that roller coaster success story. I don't know about that. I don't think John. I mean, Ngannou's a big dude, man, big guy, bro. Even if John Jones goes heavyweight, bro, and comes in at 215, 220. I mean, it'd be a good fight, but I just don't think John needs to prove himself in any way or fashion right now, man.
John Jones actually spoke out and said just what you were saying. John Jones said, or he tweeted, or he put out on Instagram rather, he said, you know, this will put smiles on the faces of all you who pay to see me lose, who watch only to see me lose. And it hasn't happened yet. He said, so, you know, I'm okay with that. Just how much are you willing to pay to find out? And that was the
Yeah.
last thing he said.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that we aren't able to embrace our champions in this way. I almost want to think that it's a little bit deeper than that,
Yeah,
but
it is.
I hate the fact that John Jones would even take this fight, and not that he couldn't win. It's just so unnecessary. It's so
Oh,
unnecessary.
we look at it. It's unnecessary right now, but right now he's the greatest firefighter that's ever been in the UFC. The greatest, bar none. If he comes up and beats Francis Ngannou, who I believe at one point, if he gets his stuff together, he's one punch away from being a heavyweight champion. But I don't think he has the tools in his arsenal with all that power to barely touch John Jones. John will wear his legs out with the leg kicks and take him down. Leg sweeps, forget double legs, but leg sweeps until Ngannou gets tired. And then he just starts doing double legs, taking him down, pummeling him until Ngannou rolls away to get away from the punches, and John takes his back and submits him. If it goes like that, I hope John doesn't do what he usually does and tries to fight somebody else's game. I don't think that would be smart. But where I can't remember the guy's name who Ngannou just beat. I could never remember that man's name. Rosenstreet, right. Well, Rosenstreet went straight back and got overwhelmed. Jones rolls. He moves to the side, circles, and keeps Ngannou in the center of the ring. Or he gets Ngannou up against the cage and starts kneeing him and shouldering him and elbowing him. And then he pulls away because Ngannou's not going to try to take him down. He can't take him down. So I just believe this is a fight John wins. He may take some damage, but I don't think he'd take as much damage as he took against Dominique Reyes. I don't see this being a dangerous fight for him if he's on his game and he pays attention. But there's always that puncher's chance.
I mean, look, can we let Francis Ngannou develop into something? He's not even the best heavyweight. He's not even the second best heavyweight. He's probably not even the third best heavyweight. And we're trying to put him in with the greatest 205 of all time. Can we just let Ngannou be great? And why are we not be talking about John Jones, Stipe Miocic? Why are we going to gloss right over that? Like, that's not the best fight to make right now?
No, you know what? The problem is Stipe Miocic. Stipe is a firefighter, and that's what he wants to dedicate his time to. And that's why Cormier has not gotten a rematch at the title. That's why Ngannou doesn't get another shot at the title, because Dana White is not going to pressure him. Miocic is talking about staying out and fighting fires till November. Okay, then you need a full camp, and then you can fight. So we're talking, if he stays out till November, the heavyweight title won't be defended until January, February next year.
I
That's
think
ridiculous.
Do you feel like Dana White? Now let's just talk about. We don't talk about how business savvy he's been almost every week of the show, at least every other week of the show on our other program, the Fighter Show Report, Wednesdays and Sundays at 7. Cheap plug.
Hey, facts.
But we're talking about his two biggest cash cows fighting without a live audience. I think Dana's much smarter than that. I don't think he makes that fight until we can get Live Gate back in arenas. He will be losing out on way too much money to try to make that fight the way they're making these fights now. The parity is what's saving the UFC right now. They got a lot of domestic guys that are all kind of milling around the same level, and you can make these fights. You can stay in these fights and make good fights for the forthcoming months, but you're not going to put your biggest two stars probably in your whole sport outside of McGregor and put them on a fight in a dark arena. I just don't see that happening. I don't.
Well, let's kind of play around with it a little bit. Because we can't make it to the fight, a Cormier Miocic fight would be a huge, it might break records on pay-per-view with the UFC. Honestly, people want to see that fight. And the longer you make Daniel Cormier wait, yeah, he trains all the time, but the longer you make him wait, the closer he moves towards retirement. So you may never get that fight, bro.
Fair play. Now that was the point to make. Stalling Cormier out so long, the way you may not make the fight happen due to age and that kind of thing. So you're right about that. But as far as the money, there's no way that fight gets made out of arenas, man. No way. You'll be leaving too much money that you know on the table for money that you know that you may not get. Remember, people ain't gung ho to be paying high price for pay-per-view events. People will still illegally stream that, and that's where you lose when you know you can put X amount of thousand people in an arena. And even if you have to do the arena in half, right? Let's say the arena that you normally do it in Vegas holds 18,000 people. Well, let's say due to the new restrictions, you can only put 9 in there. You can still charge double the ticket, bro, and people will pay to go into that.
People have been illegally streaming fights and downloading them the next day if need be off of torrents since they got big. I'm gonna say 10 years, 15 years. I know somebody's been doing it since like 2005. So it's nothing new, and they count that in. And I still believe the people who would buy tickets to see the fight and can't will be the ones who will buy your pay-per-view, will go to the closed circuits at the bars and the restaurants to see it, who are going to pay exorbitant amounts of money to get the fight. I don't think this is going to be one of those casualties of war like the one Saturday night was and the one Wednesday probably was. People probably didn't pay as much for pay-per-view for that. They most likely, if they could stream it illegally, they did. I just honestly think I don't think Dana White wants to take the chance of Miocic dropping the belt to Cormier again, because you know what's going to happen. And he hates when this happens because it happened with George St. Pierre twice. The champion challenger comes back and wins the strap and then vacates the title. Now you have an interesting situation because now you've got Miocic, who has lost it twice. Do you put him right back in contention for the strap against Ngannou, or do you put some other people who have been really waiting in the wings and winning and fighting and winning, who are number 2 and number 3 before this fight? Do they get the shot at the title? It could be an interesting scenario, bro, when you really look at that fight. And it was thinking about something that I saw today. Joe Rogan had Tony Ferguson's trainer, his jiu-jitsu trainer on. And they were talking about, I thought about this because we do a segment on the Fighter Share Report Sundays and Wednesdays at 7 that's called Matchmaker. And one of the things that they're really trying to push towards Sean Shelby is a super card that has Khabib versus Gaethje and has Ferguson versus McGregor. And the winner gets the next UFC main event.
Right.
I think that would be a card that, even in this day and age, with no butts in the seats, would make mega money.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but again, man, it's not, listen, they know they can probably charge more than they would for the average stream. What I'm telling you is that you're still leaving too much money on the table by not waiting and putting butts in the seats. That's all I'm saying. You're leaving millions in live gate. Why?
Well, he's already talked about Conor's going to fight somebody by the end of July, and they may not have butts in the seats by the end of July. So he's going to put one of his biggest cash cows in the octagon against somebody in July. Why not amp it up and ramp up as much as you can charge as possible?
It won't be necessary because he's going to put him in there with somebody he's supposed to be. He's going to put him in there with a guy that's, that's not going to draw that type of interest. Yeah, people want to see Conor, but they're not going to fork over money to see Conor fight somebody know that he's going to beat. Same thing that happened with Floyd with Andre Berto, right? Nobody really tuned in for that fight. We knew what was going to happen before it started, but it still did decent numbers. You don't want that to happen with this.
It'd be interesting because Conor is calling Dana on the carpet and saying he said, I beat Cowboy. You put me in there with Cowboy. I destroyed Cowboy as my tune-up fight, which Cowboy is kind of ticked about. The tune-up fight. He said, now I want my big fight. I want Gaethje. I want Ferguson. I want Khabib. Give me one of those 3. Usually what Conor asks for, Conor gets. So I hear what you're saying, but it'd be interesting to see if Uncle Dana bucks Conor on this one, or if he gives him what he really wants. Because this is just going to set up for a bigger payday down the road, bro. When they open the gates and people come in, and now you've got Connor versus the winner of Khabib Gaethje. I think, or Ferguson versus the winner of Khabib Gaethje. I think this opens up for a huge super fight where you can put butts in the seats. You won't be at a small arena at this point, or a decent sized civic center. You can move it to a huge venue, That's just my opinion, though.
I feel you on that. But guess what, bro? We just got to knock on the door for y'all that didn't hear it. We got a guest coming into the crib, man. Bro, do you wanna introduce this guest we got coming in?
I sure do. Hold on. Let me get my listening ears on and get the right voice. Is he set? Miss Director? He's
ready to go. He's ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to bring you one of the classiest and most effective surgeons within the squared circle. From Maryland, the state of champions, we bring you Sir Michael Fox.
What's good? What's good?
What's good, champ?
What's happening with y'all?
Hey, brother, we just working, man, and just getting some good late night combat sports and all kind of cultural talk in, man.
Nah, I feel that.
Champ, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I hear both of y'all.
Okay, so I was working on the introduction, man. I don't give anybody special introductions, but I had to give you one, being from the DMV area, Maryland specifically. Stand up.
I appreciate that. DMV was good.
Tell us, champ, man, what you up to right now?
It ain't much to it. I mean, these days in the COVID, it ain't much to do besides, I get my little workouts in. Other than that, I be in the house.
Hey, champ, that's probably the best place to be right now, man. I mean, you can't even take a jog down your own neighborhood, so being at home is probably the best thing for you, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just trying to stay healthy. When they lift all the bands and everything, I don't want to be the last one that was sick. I want to hit the ground running.
For sure. Now on the beatdown, champ, we gonna talk about your expertise in the ring, but we also want to give our listeners a chance to just kind of get to know people, man. This show is primarily focused on combat sports and music, so that's why you get the beatdown. That's why we came up with the name.
Okay.
And I see you pretty in tune with the culture, man. You seem to be a big fan of J. Cole, man. Can you let us know about your music taste?
Oh yeah, I miss a little bit of everything. Due to growing up riding around the car with my dad, listen to a lot of Jay-Z, Scarface, Snoop, J. Cole, the newer guys, Lil Baby, The Baby. My workout playlist is very very diverse. It's probably something for everybody in my music playlist.
Okay. Tell us now. Is it because of the spectacles or your boxing IQ that they call you Professor Mike?
Maybe I like to think it's the boxing IQ, but it's probably the glasses too. A lot of people misled by the glasses. They think, man, who is it? Who is this kid? This kid? This the boxing kid y'all talking about? This tall, lanky kid? Yeah, that's me. That's definitely me. That's why I'm world ranked by the IBF and WBA number 13.
Yes, sir. Who was in your iPod or in your ear when you're getting ready for a fight, when you're actually in the locker room just getting focused?
Oh, just for a little bit of hype music, I play a little bit of I always gonna play some J. Cole. There's always some J. Cole in there, but Kevin Gates, man, I work out to him, train to him, get you. Okay. Everybody know Kevin Gates get you hype. So
yeah,
you play, you get to playing that in the car. You'll get to driving. You'll get to doing 120, and not even realize it.
So, champ, I follow you on social media, and you always post some of the fun. I think you got a pretty good sense of humor, because some of the things that you find funny when I see you post on Twitter, I'm actually like, bro, that's pretty hilarious. Give us a little bit of insight on how you feel about Rick and Morty. I saw you make a post about that.
Oh man, Rick and Morty easily one of my favorite shows right now. I actually ended up getting into Rick and Morty. I was asleep the night before weigh-in. Woke up, couldn't get right back to sleep. My TV was on Rick and Morty. It was the Pickle Rick episode, and ever since then I've been a fan of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, fam. I watch probably too much of that. To be the age that I am, I probably watch too much of that. But I'm the same guy that'll pop on my Fire Stick and watch a whole season of Marvel and DC comic cartoons on TV, man. I'm just that guy.
Or Tiger King.
You grew up on them, man. We both grew up on them.
You say the Tiger King, bro. You gotta chill.
But I ain't watched the Tiger King, Joe. Man, I heard mixed. I heard it's
Listen.
I haven't watched it.
Listen, Professor. The man at the bottom down here, that's who introduced me to Tiger King.
Oh,
Bro,
word?
That's who introduced me to Tiger. And I'm watching and I'm like, this is some crazy stuff. My wife and I decided to binge watch it on a date night. And we sit up looking at each other talking about who recommended this?
Right. I gotta check it out, man. I haven't seen it yet.
Man, don't put yourself through that, champ. Don't listen to this guy, man. The only reason why I even brought it up in conversation was because we found out they was from Florida, and I was like, bro, they just make us look so bad. Every time I turn around, it's Florida just getting the donkey today. We all over the place. So
y'all do that.
That was what spurred that whole conversation.
Florida Man is every article. It can be its own Netflix.
Yes.
Florida Man.
Yes.
You gotta. That's about 20 episodes at least.
Trust me, bro. What doesn't make the television is usually better.
I don't doubt
insane.
it, man.
That's why most of your carnivals originate here in Florida.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, even Ringling Brothers are here in Florida. Well, before it broke up, it was here in Florida. That's where they find all the carnies and all the crazy people. Hey, bro, come on. I know he's a homer, so he gonna tell me I'm wrong if he can.
We're gonna ship you back to Maryland, bro. We're gonna ship you back up to Maryland. You and Professor Mike can hang out.
I'm good with that.
That's cool.
I'm good with that. We'll go down to the crack pot on Lock Raven Boulevard. My treat.
Bet.
So, champ, I see that you watch Insecure.
Yeah.
So give me your prediction on what you think is gonna happen throughout the rest of this season.
No, Marley and Issa gonna be at odds, and they're gonna love hate. Probably at the end of the season, they get it back. They get it back in order. Probably find a common hatred for somebody.
So you think? So do you see Issa getting back with old boy?
Yeah. You talk about
Lawrence.
Dude. Yeah, Lawrence. Nah, I don't know, man. He ain't even been in the last couple episodes, so it's hard to say. It don't look like she focused on him right now.
Man, that might be on to something, bro.
I don't know. I may have to get in to watch this show.
You get a little show on HBO, man. You got to support black. You got to support black TV, man.
I try, Mike. I try.
Yeah, support the black creators.
But listen, I know I'm gonna get backlash from my partner on this one. I went to school for theater and film. Mm-hmm. I mean, my thing is creative is cool, but a lot of the stuff that we get to see is not the good stuff that black culture creates. It's the stuff that mainstream will buy, and usually it's redone and rehashed. And so when I hear something good that I normally wouldn't look at, I will go check it out.
Man,
I definitely will.
I mean, you can look at it two ways. I mean, I think really it's a bit of an introspective look on our people, but I think it's not as bad just because you still got a black woman steering the ship, so it's not like it's just been completely taken over by the executives and all that. I think that's one of the Insecure is one of the more pure shows that are for that.
Okay, but it's on HBO, so I definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
What did you think about Kenya Barris's Black AF? Did you get a chance to check that out?
Nah, I haven't. I heard that joint is hilarious though, actually. So I got a long list of shows I need to watch. When you watch one show and finish one show, the next you get to add 3 more shows to the list. The list don't get smaller, so that'd probably be my next thing.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. And you, like I say, you seem like a pretty sharp dude, and you're one for probably some of that dry sarcasm.
Definitely,
It's
definitely.
that's him all day, man. I thought it was a pretty good show.
Nice, nice. Because I mean, I like Blackish too, so
Yeah.
it should be similar. Yeah.
So we're gonna pivot off the cultural stuff on TV, man. So you rep PG County, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, for those listeners out there that don't know, can you give us a little bit of background on PG County and like some of the big time cultural influences that came out of there in sports athletes?
Oh, PG culture. PG County is home for for starters. We're gonna start with boxing. Ray Leonard. They have a gym named after him in Palm Park. Kevin Durant, Quinn Cook. Very long list of sports athletes.
Yes. Yes, we needed applause on that. Yes.
Appreciate that.
So did you get a chance to I guess my next question would be, do you really get a chance to get out and do a lot in the community now with your status that you've gained over the last 4 years since you've been a pro? You turned pro in April 2014.
Mm-hmm.
As your celebrity has grown and we got the chance to see you fight on major networks and TV, do you feel like a sense tied to PG County, the culture, to actually get back and do things in the community?
Yeah. From time to time, I do try to do little things, show up where I can, help where I can. But yeah, I anywhere I go, I fight anywhere. I'm quick to tell people I'm from Forestville, Maryland. I'm from the product of the DMV. I done trained in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Just going around sparring, going gym to gym sparring. My home gym is in Clinton, Maryland. Dream Team Boxing. Shout out to the whole team. So, I got strong ties to the community.
Champ, staying with PG County.
Mm-hmm.
I used to live in PG County, and I saw the culture starting to change a little bit. Even as far as Fort Washington and that whole area. When they started putting subways out and changing and gentrifying Southeast DC.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, from your perspective, since you're still in there, can you give some insight just on the difficulties? Or maybe it hasn't been difficult since you saw the people from Southeast moving out into PG County when they started adding subway stops and bus stops and stuff like that.
I don't know if I would say it was difficult. I mean, you just see stuff changing. Like, I see they like redoing Berry Farms, like where the basketball games be at.
Wow.
They knocked a bunch of the buildings down over there. That's one of the biggest things I saw. And we were at they had some fights in Berry Farms the last time I saw. As I was walking up to the basketball court, you could see like a lot of the buildings got knocked down. They about to redo that. I think the wharf got changed a little bit. Everything's just, I don't know. Everything's just changing. That property value, I guess, property value is going up. It's just. You just kind of drive, like I spend a lot of time in the car. I happen to drive past space, but like I guess I'm at an age now. I'm 24, but it was a difference in how the place looked when I was 10 versus now. So I'm at an age now where I can kind of see that, like, wow. And then
Berry Farms,
understand as a kid.
Berry Farms used to be rough. Like it was like
for sure
almost as bad, if not as bad as Cherry Hill was in Baltimore.
Yeah, and it's just like I drive past there. There's a train station not far from there. So,
okay.
you come down. What's that? You come down Suitland Parkway or whatever. They that's when you first take the exit off. All that's clear. It's like one corner store there, basketball courts there, and then you saw a bunch of construction just getting done down there.
Well, I know they raised the property taxes so high in that area that people couldn't afford to stay. People have been in those, homes for decades. Not just Berry Farms and subdivisions like that, but people that had homes, which kind of added in the gentrification. But look, the fact that you're still able to represent that area and PG County and do it in such a I'm gonna say it a graceful way, because I like the way you handle yourself. They should really be proud, and you would think that they would be getting behind you.
I mean, it takes time. It just takes time. Like really, I'd say I'm trying to. Well, before everything, the COVID and quarantine and everything happened, we were looking to make some TV appearances in the ring. I tried to get on a couple major cards. Guys, where a lot of and some tougher opponents said no. I thought they would. Well, I thought they wouldn't have a problem fighting up and coming prospect. I done had been turned down by former world champions, high level prospects. It's part of the game, but the more chance they get to see me, that's when a good push from the area happen.
That's what's up, champ. So I mean, now that we talking about your prowess in the squared circle, man, you was a busy man in 2019, champ. 4 fights.
Yep.
How did you like being that busy? And you actually took a loss at the beginning of the year. You came back and you cleaned everything out. So give us a little bit of insight on what it was like to be that busy, and how are you able to prepare and rebound for each fight?
Oh, well, before that, I had been pretty busy. I'm used to that kind of activity. 4 times a year is since my career started. That's kind of actually been about the pace I move. We had our big fight on Showtime. That I ended up losing undefeated against an undefeated guy. He was ranked very high, and Shojan Ergashev. We just bounced back. We didn't bounce back with a slouch. We bounced back with a 2016 Olympic gold medalist. We beat him with a unanimous decision in Fazludin Gabnazarov. And then we finished out the year with two good victories in Yudi Bernardo and Johnny Ariano. It's just a matter of trying to doing your best to take care of your body after each camp, during the camp as much as you can, and after each camp. You take a week off, but then we're always back in the gym. We're working on things we did well in the fight. We're perfecting the things we did well, and we're fixing the things we did poorly in the fight. And there's never really a time I'm out of the gym. We might tone down the intensity of training, but we never just leave the gym. So it's easy to kind of stay that busy. I was even coming into this new year. Someone called me on about three or 4 weeks notice. We told them we would take the fight. They opted not to, but that's one of the perks of staying active. You get to do that.
Definitely, champ. Definitely. Look, we saw you. I think it was in Lakeland the first time we saw you.
Yeah, Lakeland, Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. And your mom was like, "You're going to interview him." So, I know this isn't professional, but how are they doing? How's your family doing all this COVID-19 stuff? Are they safe?
Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good. My dad, he's still out and about when he needs to be. I mean, we're all out and about when we need to be. But my mother, she works for the government, so she gets the luxury of teleworking, which I'm actually happy about. I don't want her taking the train to her. She normally takes the train to her job and everything. That those places, train stations is probably one of the dirtiest places in the world. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She don't need to run it. She gets to stay home, telework, and work. Everybody's doing their best to work safely. My brother and I, we actually moved in together right before the quarantine really like kicked in and like shut everything down. We moved into a place together. So everybody's good.
Wow. So, champ, speaking of your brother, Alantez Fox, for those of our listeners who may not be familiar, what is it like? And I'm asking this because I remember when Jermell Charlo lost to to Tony Harrison, and they said it affected the way Jamal Charlo performed, as his brother was the co-main to his main event. Now, granted, you're not twins, but your brother had a very difficult fight over in Europe that he lost.
Yeah.
How did that affect you? Because I know you guys train together. I know you're right there with him. How does that affect you as a brother, watching your brother in the ring fight? And have you ever been in a position where you guys are fighting on the same card and there was an issue and that carried over into your fight?
well, not the one time we actually fought on the same card. We both won. I boxed the 6th round. I boxed 6th round unanimous decision. My brother stopped the guy in the 1st round. Everything went smooth. I never really, of course, as his brother, I'd always want to see him do well. But even when he lost, even when he lost to Andre, I mean, it was upsetting. But me, I get in the mindset, I had a fight coming up. I still got work to do. I can't really dwell on that right now. When he lost in when he lost in UK, it sucks. I mean, it sucks just because I'm more nervous when he's in the ring than myself. Like I know he can handle himself. I can handle myself. But you just nervous for your loved one. I'm nervous for both of my teammates. My other teammate Greg Outlaw, when he fights, I know what he's capable of. But you still nervous. These are people you sweat with, you bleed with. You put all your work in with. So it always comes down to that. But as far as being family and everything, you just gotta be a support system for him. My brother's a support system for me, and I'm a support system for him. So when the dust settles, we assess what we could have did better in this fight. Win or lose, we assess what we could have did better. What happened? What went wrong? What did we need to fix? So as always, no matter how it goes, we're always looking to see each other get better.
All right, I see that. Thinking through my questions before I just throw them out there. As you've come through the ranks and gotten to where you are now, number 13, what has been the toughest part of this journey so far?
Toughest part of the journey, actually, it probably really hasn't been any of the fights. It's really just been the I guess the politics of it, the old, the getting turned down, getting turned down for fights. I'm in a mindset where I'm just like, if you're scared to take a chance, what do you expect to get out of this? So, I take fights. I fought two. I fought 3 undefeated guys in a row, just trying to get to that next big opportunity. So when you get turned down by guys, and it's not even the fighter that turned them down, it's their team. Like, do y'all believe in these dudes that y'all signed? Y'all got these dudes on paperwork. Y'all got these dudes signed the contracts and everything. Do y'all believe in the dudes y'all signed? If not, you need to let them know that, because more people. I know. More people done turn me down than I done turn them down. That's for certain.
So, I mean, that's interesting that you talk about that, because that was going to be my next questions I asked you. How do you feel the navigation process is for yourself through this boxing journey because of the different political and network and promoter factions?
I think, honestly, it even makes like the real big fights difficult to make. Everybody, you got the PBC has exclusive contracts with Fox, and Top Rank has exclusive contracts with ESPN, and then they already don't have. Then if you don't have a good personal business relationship, Golden Boy with the Zone, if they got a good business relationship, they can make something happen. I mean, they'll make something happen if the money's right, but I think it makes things more difficult. You got to decide, what platform is going to broadcast this, who's bringing in more money, who's doing this, who's doing that. I mean, I think it makes stuff just a little more difficult. It's difficult to navigate, and that's at the high levels, but it's but at the level I'm at, I can't even get to that level, because the guys that they have that's supposed to be next in line, they're slow walking them, these guys, and they're not slow walking them, but they're taking calculated risks. They're taking really overly calculated risks, and then a lot of fighters get left by the wayside when they do that. Like if you got a big following on Instagram and stuff, that gets you further. That sometimes that gets a lot of guys further than their actual skills do.
So, being at your level, do you think it would benefit you to just take a bunch of jobbers just to inflate your record like crazy?
I don't honestly no. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, I got 23 fights now. The whole the jobber part of this is done. I never really got into that. Once I got to the 6 rounders, I kind of stopped fighting. I tried to stop fighting guys that would get knocked over by a gust of wind. So
Gotcha.
you know, so I don't think that'll help me at this point. At this point now, I can fight some tough guys to stay active and just be ready for the big call.
Well, that definitely makes sense. So speaking of that, champ, how do you feel that combat sports boxing in particular, that's your craft? How you think we're gonna move forward with fighting in these dark arenas? Someone like you said, the level you're at, you're not at the level where you can carry a pay-per-view card just yet or carry a main event, but you're a guy who can definitely put butts in the seats, especially fighting, closer to your demographic, your home. How do you fight this is going to affect boxing, man, with these dark matches and not being able to see these big guys in the ring, these bigger name guys in the ring?
I think if it keeps the bigger guys out of the ring, I think it does give opportunity for guys coming up. Really any other promoters that have like a streaming deal with ESPN, DAZN, or Fox or whatever or what have you. They're gonna even if they do put their guys on these cards, they're gonna need people for their guys to fight. I don't have any problem coming in on the B side and trying to make a name and trying to make a bigger name for myself. So we just have to wait and see. I think everyone was really watching how the UFC conducted their shows. To really see, man, hey, maybe this is possible. Maybe we can actually do this. And viewership is going to probably do better just because everybody's stuck in the house. I was on Twitter during both the UFC events, and everybody talked about, man, for the first time in X amount of months or weeks, we got live sports. And that's gonna excite people. But when they start putting more cards out, they're gonna put cards. They're gonna have 3 and 4 fights on the card on the broadcast, and that's going to give opportunity, like I said, for lesser known fighters to get a little more shine. More people going to be tuned in, and social media is very powerful. They get it once people get to talking, what I'm saying, that boost should stop.
Cool. I would usually reserve this question for later, but I really want to throw this at you right now. At the end of your career, when they throw that big retirement party at the MGM in Capitol Heights, what do you want your boxing epitaph to say?
I just want to be able to say a world champion that fought. That fought everybody, took every challenge, and basically just made a name for himself. I started off real humble, $500 per fight, a low percentage of ticket sales, right at Rosecroft Raceway. And I can tell him I took on the world.
Okay,
I like that answer, champ.
Appreciate that.
So now to lighten the mood a little bit, because I think we got a little deep there. What you feel like is the most exciting division in boxing right now? Is it your division? Is it the 35, the 40, 47, 54? What division you feel like is the most exciting division in boxing?
Honestly, if we want to talk about the most exciting division, I'm gonna say it's between the lightweight division and the junior middleweight division. I say the lightweight division just because you got Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, Lomachenko. They're all sitting there, and a lot. Oh, and Ryan Garcia, and it's a lot of good fights to be made down there. But but the most, I think the number one most exciting is the junior middleweight, just because the belts are changing hands like it's nothing, like currency. You know what I'm saying? You see, Jared Hurd lost to Julian Williams, but then Jamel Charlo lost to Tony Harrison. Then Tony Harrison loses to Jamel. Julian Williams loses to Jason Rosario, and I think it's still a lot that can happen in that division. You still got guys like Terrell Gaucher. You still got Hammer. He's creeping his way back up. There's one more. I always forget his name. But it's still
Brian
like
Teixeira?
huh?
Is it Teixeira or Garcia?
I forgot.
Sergio's the European champ, Garcia, and then you got Brian Teixeira. He's the guy that I think he's a number one. He's a contender too. I don't know if he's a belt holder.
Yeah, and Castano. You can't pick Castano. I
Castano.
think, and Law. Yeah, and Law. I mean that division is actually I think deeper than most people think. A lot of guys done dropped some fights. A lot of guys done won, but it's still a lot of great fights that can be made. I would love to see Goucher in there with Hammer or Julian Wynn and Tony Head, despite both of them losing. I still love this. That's still a fight I'd love to see. Hurd and Charlo still a fight you'd like to see. But and Jason Rosario, who just came in, who just came in and just snatched 2 belts. I would like to see him against any of the top 154 guys because he definitely made a statement in the way he fought Julian Williams. So that division to me is the most exciting division. Like everything get flipped on his head in an instant.
And I meant to say Patrick Teixeira, not Brian. Brian Castano, Patrick Teixeira.
Brian Castano and Patrick Teixeira, yeah.
Yeah. So who do you think? So when the dust settles, then who's gonna be last man? You think standing at 54?
That's a tough one. Like a lot of these guys fighting. A lot of these guys are starting to get some mileage on them. Since I'm supportive of the DMV, of course I would like to see Swift Jerry Hurd at the top of that mountain. But one person that I think can't be slept on. He's still young. He's still probably the youngest of that whole bunch. Body's still a little fresh. He took an L, but I got to watch for Hammer. He's still very skilled. I think he's probably might be one of the more dangerous in that group.
Gotcha.
Nice. So now we asked you what was the toughest of the. What do you think right now is the division that needs the most work? That's the weakest.
I wouldn't say, for lack of a better word. I mean, if you want to say the weakest,
or less.
Let me say
the most top heavy, probably. Well, you might have just only 2 guys at the top, 2 legitimate guys. You don't really know who else. Like maybe the cruiserweight division, maybe.
Well, yeah, the cruiserweight division been needing work for some time. Like even when what's my guy name?
Holyfield.
No. The last dude that was undisputed. The dude he just won. He's Lomachenko's stablemate.
Oh, Usyk.
Why couldn't I remember that name? Usyk. Yeah. So he came through, became undisputed. I mean, if you really kind of follow boxing, you knew who the champions were that he beat. I'm kind of up on my boxing, but the cruiserweight division is still just kind of I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about it, but it's been like that for a while, So if we want to say, so I guess I would have to say the cruiserweight division. Any other divisions I'm thinking about right now are still fairly competitive. Like the junior welterweights, you still got Maurice Hooker, Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. You got names, you know what I mean, and they still got a lot, of fighting to do to decide.
Yeah, they do
amongst them. But yeah, so I guess I gotta say the cruiserweight division. Or maybe I just don't know enough about the cruiserweight division. But I would say them cruiserweight division could use a big splash.
Okay. I'm gonna yield to my brother before I pop this next one. You have another question you want to give to him?
Yeah, man. Just one last question on me, bro. So I watch a lot of your fights. I like your jab, very educated.
Appreciate that.
I like your movement because you long pause. You cover a lot of distance in the ring, bro. If there was one aspect of your game, without giving too much to any prospective opponent or a scout that may be listening, what would you want to work on?
I'll tell you after my fight with Ergashev, I just worked on being a little more aggressive, but doing it smart. We try to apply intelligent pressure when we need to, just to show because really, it's just about what's pleasing to the judges. And sometimes just being aggressive just shows like, yo, this kid wants to fight, even if he's the kid's missing a lot, he'll get a lot of pressure. I mean, he'll get a lot of points for trying. He's stepping forward. So, you know, I definitely wanted to work on my being a little more aggressive. I worked on being on that front foot a little more, but you know, always smart, always elusive, defensive minded, and just pushing, just keeping guys up against the ropes sometimes. Me being 6'4", it looks bad when one of them short guys try to jump in my chest and I'm up against the ropes or something like that. So that's what I've been working on. That's the thing I've been working on personally. So it's just about how it looks. Every time I get in the ring, I mean, if I got a guy that's like 5'9", he looks way shorter than me, so they automatically root for him just as he's the little guy. You know, he's a little guy. But now I just use that to my advantage. I'm the big guy. I'm gonna make it look like I'm the bigger guy, and that's what I've been working on.
For sure.
All right, so I'm trying something. I'm breaking out something new with you tonight, champ.
Okay.
Got to put your reaction cap on.
All right.
Because it's called 5 rounds, 1 punch. I'm gonna say something to you.
Yep.
I just want the first thing off the dome.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Round 1. Politics.
I don't trust any of them.
Round 2. Religion.
Man, whatever you believe in, man, that's your thing to believe in.
Round 3. Commitment.
It's one of the most important things. Without commitment, you won't start.
Round 4. Legacy.
When you long gone, your legacy is what they remember.
And the most important one, round 5. Crab cakes versus steamed crabs.
We gotta talk about that one. The crab cakes. No. Nah, crab cakes.
Appreciate it, man.
Let me just say one thing about that though, man. See that the thing about steamed crab versus crab cake. I love crabs, but
Yes, sir.
but you know, if you from here, you know, you ain't always in the mood to pick through crabs. So that messes with your that messes with how much you really like them. You know, I mean, I gotta like want some crabs, and then you like. I don't feel like picking through that.
Off and all that. Yeah,
I don't feel like picking through them Jones though. And then like once they get there, if somebody surprise you, I'm gonna just eat some crabs. But if you got to go get them, you don't always want to pick them.
Listen, you smell it. You get that shoe peg corn out that water. Yeah, it's. I gotta stop talking about that. I'm about to get on the Southwest. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm with you. I spent much money on crab cakes just to get that crab without having to have my fingers all cut up. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure we can all tell, bro.
Really?
Just saying.
Really? I mean, hey, Mr. Fox, my partner down here is the official mascotters we call GQ of late night boxing combat.
Nobody.
He always coordinates himself with the air traffic controller hat and headphones and sunglasses. I'm telling you, I said it the other day. He's what they call combat arm candy. So
okay.
You got to chill, bro. You're doing too much, man. Listen, champ. I appreciate your time, man. I know we got you out here late, but this is kind of like our niche, brother. We like to come on late so everybody can kind of wind down, listen to us talk about all kinds of stuff, man. So we definitely appreciate your time, brother. We wish you blessings and favor on the journey to your family, man, and to your brother. You know, everybody there, man. You know, just keep doing your thing. Keep being a positive light for those people in the community, man.
Nah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, man. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for reaching out. I kind of wondered if y'all kind of remember us from back in Florida. I never really forgot about y'all.
Hey, I just want you to know. Tell your mom she invited me over for dinner. She said
What?
that when we were in Lakeland. Yes.
What? Hold
Yes.
on. What?
Yes.
See,
She said it'd be
see.
crab. Hey, she said it would be crab cakes. I'm just telling you.
The
You let her know.
meeting just got bad now. You know what I'm saying? The interview
Bruh,
just got bad.
bro. That wasn't me, bro.
That's fine. No, but how can we follow you on social media, Mr.
Nah,
Fox?
y'all can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Professor Mike. Mike with a Y. Professor Mike.
Now, can you give us a drop before you get out of here?
Oh, okay. What I need to say? What we call it?
Hey, well, this show is called The BEATDOWN.
The BEATDOWN. All right.
We just want people to know who you are and who you rolling with.
All right. This is the professor of the sweet science, Michael Fox, world ranked IBF and WBA contender, and you rocking with the BEATDOWN.
Appreciate that.
That work. That work.
One
it
take,
work?
man. One hit a quitter, bro. Appreciate you, man.
That was tight. I appreciate that.
Man, I do what I can, man. Do what I can to help.
Yes. Appreciate it. Look, please don't be a stranger. Anytime you want to come through, just hit us up.
Definitely.
Just hit us up, man.
Yeah.
And again, I'm bringing my fork. So when I come
All
up
right,
there, just let your mom know I haven't forgotten.
All right, bet. Definitely. When things get back rolling, I remember you said that too. When things get back rolling, definitely gotta do this again.
Definitely.
Yes,
You're a
sir.
friend. You're family of the show, man. We
I appreciate that very much.
Peace
All
and
right,
blessings.
champ. Peace.
All right.
Wow, Professor Mike Fox, man. Great job, Badger. Great job.
Bro, okay, look. Can you stop talking about people mama on the show, bro? How you bring the man mama into this, bro? We could have said it off the air.
I get people on recording, so when they talk about what you're doing at my doorstep, I can pull up YouTube. Hey.
And you always look hungry, so I get it.
Oh man. Just show the water bottle so people can see.
Hey, my bro hooked me up. Y'all see it right there.
But he's always looking hungry. Yeah. All right. I got you. Oh, and he took a swig. All right. Listen, shout out to Professor Mike, man, for coming through. That was big. He didn't have to be up this late to do it because, like you said, he's still training. He stays in shape. So that was major. And, and I'm glad to see you back, bro.
Glad to be back, bro. I do my best, to try to make sure I don't leave you out there to go through this on a solo tip, brother. We're a team, and I got to do better by making sure I'm here. So whether it's technical difficulties or whatever else,
you here.
I got to do my best to get there. Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Hey, Sunday, we went to visit another church. A few of them are actually open now, very few. And it's not that often we make it to Brooksville because that's the part of Florida I was thrown in. And I got love for Brooksville still. A lot of people up there I stay in touch with. But I won't mention the church. But it was the church my grandfather went to. And before he passed, I hadn't been there in decades, and my wife had never been. So we're sitting in there. And the pastor has an assistant. He usually chooses a little boy to be his assistant. And the pastor told the little boy, pastor said, hey, now, when I call for a break, I need you to run out the side door, go down Leonard Street, turn on the sub, go another block, hit the alley, and you'll see a white house. Knock on his back door, he's going to hand you a bag. You bring that bag back, you wave at me from the side window, and I'm going to come out. He said, all right. He said, now what's your cue? Little boy said, you didn't tell me what the cue was. He said, okay. The cue is John said. He said, okay. What's the cue? Little boy said, John said. Right. Okay. So the pastor's going through the service. He gets up to do his sermon. And he said, John said. Little boy got up, ran out the side, went down Leonard Street, turned on the sub, went down to the alley, saw the White House, knocked on the door. Man came to the door, handing him a bag. He ran back to the church, waved when he got to the window. Pastor said, let's bow your heads for a little prayer. Pastor finna step outside for a little fresh air. So the pastor goes outside, grabs the bag, cracks the bottle, whoop, throws it down, gives the boy a hug, pat on the head. He goes back in and starts preaching again. About 15 minutes longer into the sermon, he said, John said. Little boy said, Dad. Got up, ran out the door, side door, down Leonard Street, made a left on the sub, went down a couple blocks, hit the alley, knocked on the White House on the back door. Man came to the door again, handed him a bottle. Old boy ran back, got to the window. Pastor said, let's bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Pastor finna step outside for a little fresh air. So the pastor steps outside, got the bag from the little boy, cracked the bottle, threw it back. When he was done, came back in and started preaching again. About 20 more minutes go by, and pastor said, John said. Little boy stood up and said, John said, you ain't getting there another bottle till you pay for that other two. I don't understand. I don't understand why we got the quiet. Or would it have been better? Hey, brother, bro, you ain't been this quiet in a long time.
Bro, I ain't got much to add right now, brother. This is your moment.
Wow, I've lived all my life to finally get to this moment. Appreciate it. Look, family, this is the Beatdown every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 11 p.m. Tune in to see some great interviews, some great commentary, content, just a great time. We even got music playing in the background, got Marvel in the background. We good. We're doing this for you. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, Sunday and Wednesday, 7 p.m., you have the Fighter Share Report, but, you know, more of a segmented, formal show. This is more of our freestyle in the evenings. And I'm appreciative that, you know, the Badger decided to get me out of prison so I can come here and do this show with him. Appreciate it, bro.
I wouldn't do it with anybody else, bro. Where else you gonna get those classy jokes?
I don't know, because I work hard on these. I work hard on them. So I don't know where else you're going to get them. But hey, you got them. Listen, anything else before we want to get out of here?
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for dialing in, tuning in with us, man. That's all we got.
Oh, man, please forgive us. We had questions come in. We'll read them. We're going to respond. Thank you very much for the comments. Thank y'all for watching. All right, man. I'm out. I'm going to let you take us out.
Fighter Shed Nation is the Beatdown. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.